Next, I would like to request Sir to kindly felicitate welcome Shri M.K. Venuji, founding editor, The Wire, the former executive editor, The Hindu, and former managing editor of Financial Express. Please put your hands together and welcome Shri M.K. Venu.
Could we begin with the first person on my list, and that is Mr. M.K. Venu, who worked in the same organization as me once upon a time, and both of us drifted apart, only in occupation, not in spirit. Please.
Thank you. How much time do I have?
5 minutes.
Yeah, I'll take less than that. No, no, I don't have enough to save for 5 minutes.
Okay.
So as a practitioner of journalism for 35 years, one has worked in several organizations. One has worked with newspapers. One has worked part-time. One has appeared on television. One has participated in debates on TV. And for the last 4.5 years, I'm part of a web-based media project called The Wire. Now, my accumulated experience tells me that that media and ethics, different organizations, different journalists, different bodies have varying interpretations of what media ethics are, how media morality or media ethics is to be practiced. I mean, there are different schools of journalism. Now, there is a school of journalism which would sort of argue that that the nation's interest or sometimes you conflate that with the government of the day, interest of the government of the day. So what the government does in the interest of the nation should be prima facie taken for what it is, and the media should not question it. Now, there are some journalists or some organizations who would buy that that logic. Now, there are others who would argue that media's primary role is to inform the reader, and as Jayaprakash said, to promote reasoned debate. And there are media organizations and journalists who believe that the government should constantly be questioned on whatever it does, even if it does something ostensibly in national interest. One should go and deconstruct or investigate what the government has done or what it claims to have done, and therefore you should question the government on everything. So I would not be presumptuous to suggest that there's only one view of media ethics. There is in today's context there is a nationalist view of media ethics, which many television channels practice and practice very aggressively. I do not agree with that view. For instance, in the way Kashmir is being reported today, the bulk of the media has taken a very nationalist stance on Kashmir. Why talk about the media? Even the Supreme Court has taken a very nationalist stance, and individual liberties, rights provided under the Constitution. 19, freedom of expression, right to life and liberties. Even habeas corpus petitions have been put on hold by the highest apex judiciary. Now, a lot of media agrees with that. I personally don't. I think there is a need to question on a daily basis whether some of our freedoms, essential freedoms, which are derived from the Constitution, are being are being observed or not, whether it's Kashmir or whether it's anywhere else. So now, so from here I would say, I would go to my next point, which is there is a nationalist media today, and there is a media which questions everything, which is sometimes described as anti-national media. So there is diversity. So I would argue that this diversity should be maintained, and there should be all shades of opinion, and in a democracy, that's what we live for, right? We live to debate, to express all shades of opinion, and media, I think, is a very, very important platform to take to the people all shades of opinion, and further such debates, whether it's on politics, economics, society, environment, climate change. There is contestation in everything today, and the way world politics is playing out, populist nationalism is also is becoming a very, very entrenched, I would say, trend across different parts of the world. India is not the only exception. So similar debates are occurring in other societies also. So I would argue that that media ethics, media morality would dictate that that all shades of opinion should be respected. There should be toleration of all shades of opinion, and at least the state should not interfere in that process, in the process of all shades of opinion being brought out before society and being debated, discussed before society. So I would end with that.
Thank you, Venu.